this leads me right into what I wanted to talk about tonight, and that's planning your month. And so I think a good place to start when you start planning your month, and I do this every month. I get out my calendar. I'm going to grab it. Hang on just a second. I switched where I was sitting, so I'm not at my desk. So I do this every month. I get out my calendar and I start looking at what are my goals. My goal is Success Club 5 or 10 or 15, whatever it is. I know I want to add, for myself, I want to add a certain number of coaches, 3 to 5 coaches. Maybe you want to add 2 coaches. Like whatever your goal is, you really need to ask yourself, what are they? And then you need to be able to reverse engineer that with a plan, knowing what you're inviting people to. So as you're starting February, you really need to know when your next challenge group starts. So like for me, I know it's going to start on March 6th. So I know that I need at least 2 to 2.5 weeks to invite to that challenge group. I'm going to show you guys some things in just a second. If you haven't read the book, Jab, Jab, Right Hook, or Jab, Jab, Hook, or no, Jab, Jab, Right Hook, sorry, by Gary Vee. I don't know if you guys can see this because I can't actually see myself right now in the call here, but it's a good book. It's really kind of teaches you how to like breadcrumb your story and then what a call to action post is. And so that's really what a right hook would be, is a call to action post. And so I was going to read to you guys somewhere here, and I've lost my place. It says, be generous, be informative, be funny, be inspiring, be all the characteristics we enjoy in other human beings. That's what jabs are all about, is just being you. Right hooks represent what is valuable to you, the sale, and helping people like get in that door of being in your challenge group. So jabs are about what is valuable to the consumer. And so it's really important. We're going to talk about that more as I go on tonight, but I want you to think about what your plan is going to be for those jabs and for those right hooks, and making sure that all of that timing really aligns with what your plan is for your business. Fail to plan, plan to fail. The great thing about having a plan for your month is that it starts to create this rhythm in your business. And I like to just call that a rhythm of consistency. Once you start developing a plan for your month, it evolves into the next month, and then the next month, and the next month. And so it becomes easier to plan your month. It's kind of like meal prepping, right? So you start doing it week by week, and before you know it, you don't have to spend so much time planning because it becomes habit, and you kind of know ahead of time what you're going to do. Okay, so I'm going to break this down for you guys. This is this week right here, January 29th through February 4th. Here's my suggestion. Remember, this is when I look at my calendar, this is what it looks like for me. You may be starting some things differently this month, and that's okay. So I don't want you to think that you always just have to do exactly this, but I think this is a really good place to start from. So I'm suggesting that this week you are jabbing fitness, nutrition, or success stories 4 times. And you're like, well, what does that mean? It's just posting about these things. Posting about your fitness. And this does not mean, and I don't want this to turn into a social media call, but it's really just sharing your story. It is not posting stock photos. It is not sharing your link with people. It is just sharing your story as a coach, right? So sharing what worked for you, maybe when you cooked. I saw a post from Tara Davis tonight, and she had made meatloaf and some vegetables and some potatoes, and she took a picture of it and talked about it, and it was a great post. So that would be a jab, just sharing those things. And I suggest doing that 4 times this week, and then jab business and lifestyle 1 time. And what that means is just sharing about what you enjoy about being a coach. What have you learned this week? Does it bring out the best in you? What are those qualities that it brings out? Those are business and lifestyle things. What are some things that you get to do as a coach that maybe you wouldn't get to do otherwise? That would be a type of business or lifestyle jab. And so your hook this week would be, if you are running a free group next week, which maybe you are and maybe you aren't, so I don't want to, overwhelm anybody by that if you're not. But if you are, then this week is a great week to post a call to action to that. I would say for a free group, you're going to need, I would say 4 to 5 days to really start promoting it. Maybe even more than that, but at a minimum, you're going to need 4 to 5 days to start promoting it, post about it, get people interested, invite to it, and make sure you're ready to go the following Monday. So free groups are a great way to grow your list and build relationships with people. And again, this call is not going to be about that. But if you have questions about that, definitely let your coach know or post in our team page, and we're happy to help you. So this first week of the month really just looks like telling your story from a fitness, nutrition perspective and as a coach, but we're really just focused on the fitness aspect of things. Going into next week, it looks like the exact same thing. So next week, you're jabbing about the same things that I just shared. And when I say success stories here, it could be your success story, or you could share stories from our team that maybe you are experiencing in the challenge group that you're in, from either your challenge group or your upline's challenge group or whatever. So, and then next week, I am suggesting for your hook to post one challenge group call to action for your March challenge group. So I told you that my challenge group is going to start on March 6th. Maybe yours is going to start on March 13th. Whatever the case may be, it's good to give yourself, like I said, at least 2 to 2.5 weeks to jab and share what you're doing and invite in those one-on-one messages to your challenge group. So I hope this helps y'all with timing and the importance of showing up on social media. Okay, and so February 12th through February 18th, we're looking at that following week. The numbers look a little bit different. So I'm suggesting that you jab fitness, nutrition, and success stories 3 times a week, and then business and lifestyle 2 times a week. So you're starting to shift your focus a bit to the business and to coaching and to what this business has done or is doing, or you hope it will do for you. And so you can see that, like the perspective starts to change a little bit. The hook would still be, though, for you to post one challenge group call to action for your March challenge group. This is the same type of call to action that you posted the week before. And then February 19th through 25th looks very similar to the previous week, where you're doing those fitness, nutrition, success story jabs 3 times a week, business and lifestyle 2 times a week. And then your hook, though, this week is going to be a call to action to join your team, or maybe to listen to the business opportunity webinar that we have coming up on the 23rd. And so when you've planned your month out, you can be very intentional about your posts and know that they are not all for naught, and that everything has a rhyme and a reason to it, and that you are building interest and you are creating value around your challenge groups and creating value around your business, not just this week, right? You've already been jabbing a little bit about the business prior to this. So what doesn't work is when you send somebody an invite to your challenge group or to join your team, and they have no clue on God's green earth that you're even a coach, or that you're even interested in fitness or nutrition or building a business. So you have to post about those things in a very genuine, way, a way that tells your story and documents your journey and your progress, not in a way that sounds like you're trying to sell somebody something on your website. Yeah, they will have to buy a challenge pack, most likely to be in your group, but they have to know that you're going to walk with them through this whole process, and that your job as a coach starts with that. It doesn't end with that. And then the last week of the month, as you can see, it just bleeds into March. So you're going to go back to Jabbing Fitness Nutrition and those success stories 4 times in a week, and then the business 1 time in a week. And then from here, you're right back to that very beginning of that cycle. So if you're gonna run a free group in March, maybe you're gonna run it the week of March 6th, and you could do your challenge group the 13th, or maybe you have a different idea. But my suggestion is to post a call to action to your free group during this week, so that you are locked and loaded and ready to go with a great group to start on March 6th. And then this cycle, this process really starts all over again. But it's important because as you go through February, like honestly for me, I will start planning the following month about halfway through the previous month, because I like to have, a long-term view of what I'm doing. Each month looks a little bit different, but it also looks pretty similar. So I hope this helps you guys. Some call to action tips. Again, I know this isn't like a social media thing, but when you're doing a call to action, we don't ever do them really more than once a week. Sometimes, it's less than that. So 3 to 4 times a month, I'd say at most. But make sure that you're sharing a part of your story. Connect it to your vision for what you want to accomplish with your challenge groups and your team. That vision is so, so important. So don't be afraid to share that with in your post. Communicate the date that your group is starting. Explain how it will solve a problem for your target market. So, if you have a group of moms that are busy and don't have time to go to the gym, whoever, I know for me, I want to reach those people who have the same kind of problems that I do. And so I'm going to communicate that and how this group is going to solve that problem. And then tell them how they can show interest in the group. And so do you want them to comment below? Do you want them to message you? Probably you want them to do both. So make sure you're very specific about that. And then just one little thing too is, instead of writing big, long paragraphs, I always encourage my coaches to use not link breaks, line breaks here, or paragraph breaks, because I find that shorter paragraphs are certainly easier on the eyes, and it's more motivating to want to continue to read through that, rather than you see a big, long paragraph and you're like, man, I'm tired just looking at that, so I'm just going to skim it. So use those line breaks so that you can create some emphasis and make things easier to read. And really that jab,